This one is, I wrote it in the 90s. It's called Wish I Had a Dollar. I think right now it's supposed to be like, I wish I had $7.15, but anyway, that doesn't fit the lyrics. Wish I had a dollar for every time I made the same mistake. It's more than intuition but telling me my heart is bound to break. Yeah, yellow lights are flashing that blow right through, never waiting to see them turn red. I wish I had a dollar for every time my heart ignored my head. And I hate to resign myself to cliches, but it's just the way it goes. Yeah, I'll do it over again and again, 'cause the highs are worth the lows. I wish I had a dollar for every time I said never again. The circle keeps spinning round and round, and it seems like it never ends. Yeah, I'm standing here alone and I'm trying to smile, but it's getting difficult to pretend. I wish I had a dollar for every time I heard we can still be friends. And I hate to resign myself to cliche, but it's just the way it goes. Do it over again and again, 'cause the highs are worth the lows. I wish I had a dollar for every time I've broken every one of my rules. I'm standing again on familiar ground, and I'm feeling like the ultimate fool. Yeah, feminine look, it's a hold on my heart, and there ain't a single thing I can do. I wish I had a dollar for every time I said I love you. And I hate to resign myself to cliche, but it's just the way it goes. Yeah, I'll do it over again and again, 'cause the highs are worth the lows. Every time, make the same mistake. All that intuition been telling me my heart is bound to break. Yeah, feminine look, it's a hold on my heart, and there ain't a single thing I can do. I wish I had a dollar for every time I said I love you. I wish I had a dollar for every time I said I love you. I wish I had a dollar for every time I said I love you. Oh, thank you very much. Just looking around at this place. This place is so cool. You know, I'm planning on building this old, so figure out. I guess I got a song that's kind of has a little historical context to it, but it's got a little story behind it. I make my living in the winter. Unfortunately, I get stuck doing this thing called ski instruction, and I get to teach skiing. I've been doing it for over 30 some odd years, and I used to be at this place called Moon Mountain, and we used to stop on there was a time where we met our advanced lessons, you know, halfway down the hill. They'd meet us there, and this one day it was kind of slow, and with no lessons, me and my buddy were about to take off and go skiing, and this older gentleman comes skiing up to us. And he introduced himself, he says, "You know what they call me? My name's Chainsaw Charlie." And we go, "Well, nice to meet you, Chainsaw." And he goes, "You know why they call me Chainsaw Charlie?" He goes, You know, they race today, they got them breakaway gates and they're made out of plastic and everything else. He goes, back in my day, we had bamboo stuck in the ground. You ran into it, it broke it, it hurt you. And he goes, and I broke a lot of them, so they called me Chainsaw Charlie. We were like, wow, you know, hey, that's cool. And he says, goes, you know, my wife tells me at 75 years old, I'm as good a lover as I was when I was 20. We're like, really? He goes, yeah, she told me I was no damn good when I was 20. I'll never forget that. But the guy started skiing away. And we're watching him, effortless, gliding down the hill. Poetry. It was just beautiful, you know, and we're just watching. It's just like, wow, I hope that when I'm 75 I can do that. And so we left. My buddy took off, and I'm sitting, get on a chairlift to go take a run for myself, and all of a sudden, you know, this guy said he used to race. He could have been in the Olympics. He could have, you know, who was this guy I just met, you know? So this story started working in my head. So this is dedicated to Chainsaw Charlie, wherever you are. It's called The Old Ski Racer. I once met an old ski racer, and he still had his cast iron will. Though his legs would be aching and tired from an hour or two on the hill. He still wore the proud look of an athlete, and he can't recall if he grew old, but he carries clear memories of glory when he brought home a medal of gold. And his boots made out of leather, and his skis were made out of wood, and his bindings resembled a bear trap, and he turned them where very few could. He prefers to ski in the morning with a mixture of sunshine and cold. He appreciates beauty of movement on a slope that's freshly been rolled. And he likes his new boots made of plastic and a camera built into his skis. And he says, with a grin and a chuckle, I hope they can build me new knees. And his boots made out of leather, and his skis made out of wood, and his bindings resembled a bear trap. He turned them where very few could. Caught up with him early one morning. We shared a ride up in a chair. I was amazed at his youthful appearance. Seemed like he hadn't to care. He said, son, don't retreat from the weather. Don't hide inside when it's cold. But mostly, don't ever stop skiing, and you can't help never grow old. And his boots made out of leather, and his skis made out of wood. His binding resembled a bear trap. He turned them where very few could. Yeah, he turned them where very few could. Thank you very much. And thank everybody for coming out tonight, and for Martin and Scott putting this thing on. It's when you're a songwriter around here, you know, even just regular performing musician, we we'll play in different bars and restaurants and stuff like that. And a lot of times it's just kind of background music, you know. You're just sitting there, and you know, and that's all right. That's what we get paid to do. You know, you want to sit at the table, eat your dinner, and have a nice conversation with somebody. But every once in a while, you get a chance to actually come out and do something like this, where people are listening. So it's a big boon to us. So thank you. So, and anybody who knows me knows I have this habit. Is we could be talking about any subject in the world, no matter what, you know, and somehow I'll manage to steer the conversation towards something about Ireland. Yeah. My family's all from Ireland. I've been over there quite a few times myself, and see how I did that? All right. So I was thinking about these words were coming into my head. So this song is, it's called Connemara Dream. That's where my family's from, this place called Connemara in County Galway. And it's about a dream. And I'll confess to you, I didn't really have this dream, but it made for a good song, so I hope you like it. Well, I saw myself arriving in the middle of a dream. The plane touched down in Shannon on the Isle of Emerald Green. To greet me was my Uncle Pat. We ventured towards the bar, a welcome pint or two before we loaded up the car. We toasted the high kings of Tara. Then we drove to the hills of Connemara. Well, we neared our destination at the breaking of the day. The morning sun, it glistened off the shores of Cashel Bay. Driving down a one-lane road off to Tonopah, the old house there to greet us with a peat fire nice and warm. We toasted the high kings of Tara. There in the hills of Connemara. Ancestors were gathered there, all with tales to tell. I had never met a single one, but I felt I knew them well. Then Rory O'Connor appeared ghost-like in the door, and I understood his ancient tongue that I'd never heard before. He said, I'm the last of the high kings of Tara. Fare thee well, you sons of Connemara. My dream had slowly faded, and in my bed I woke. That peat fire I imagined, well, I still could smell the smoke. And in my waking haze I wondered, what did this all mean? Was there a message hidden deep within my dream? To remember the high kings of Tahara, to return to the hills of Connemara, to the hills of Connemara. Thank you very much. So I was trying to sit around today, trying to figure out what I wanted to play. I got thinking about the song I wrote years ago. Back in 1984, I got myself in a tough situation, which I've done quite often. I was in a situation where I had lost my job. I needed a job. I had just gotten a motorcycle accident, and people didn't want to hire me because I had, injured my shoulder and everything else. I was looking for jobs all over the place. This is down in Massachusetts. Back before I smartened up and moved to New Hampshire. But the only job I could get was working as a day laborer for this guy that. Basically we call ourselves demo guys. We'd go into Boston and, our main job was, going into these old buildings and gutting it out and tearing out all the nasty old stuff and carrying it down and filling up the truck and, maybe they'd hire us to carry sheetrock stuff, all stuff that nobody wanted to do. And, it was, but it was, it was the only job available, and actually was, in some ways, was kind of cool. I mean, we would get so dirty. We looked so bad with so much dirt and plaster and everything else all over us when we were out on the street loading the truck. Like the bums would go walk on the other side of the street to stay away from us, right? But like anything, there's a song in it, right?
Saw an old flame out on the street today. She was glad to see me, although she could not stay. And my train engineer's cap was a little out of place. I had gloves on my hands and dirt all over my face. She smelled like flowers in the springtime. I felt like dirt on the ground. She said she worked in an office. I said I'd tear them down. The leather coat she was wearing would cost me 3 weeks' pay. And inside I was swearing why she had to see me this way. But outside I was smiling. I think she's thought that odd, that I could get such enjoyment working on the demo squad. With my sledgehammer swinging, dirt on my clothes, blisters on my fingers and dust up my nose. With my sledgehammer swinging, sweat on my brow. This song I've been singing should help me somehow. I was tearing up the alleys, met an old friend from high school. I said I never went to college. He said, I guess that's cool. He said he was an engineer making 56 grand a year. I said, okay, I make good pay, but I spend it all on beer. With my sledgehammer swinging, dirt on my clothes, blisters on my fingers, and dust up my nose. With my sledgehammer swinging, sweat on my brow. It's all I've been taking, should help me somehow. Well, you can study aeronautics or be a maitre d'. You can even be a sailor and spend your life at sea. But with life's aggravation, gonna give me the call. I can take up my frustration, tearing down a cement wall. With my sledgehammer swinging, turn out my clothes, blisters on my fingers, and dust up my nose. With my sledgehammer swinging, sweat on my brow. It's all I've been singing, should help me somehow. All I've been taking should help me somehow.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I think we've got time for one more here. Let's see. Okay, I'll do this one. There was one good thing about that job, because we were doing all the lousy jobs that nobody else wanted to do in the construction world, and like I said, that was back in 1984. And so, and I got to watch all the carpenters and everything else, and I managed to end up getting myself a job on a carpentry crew and learning the carpentry trade, mostly like hanging sheetrock and stuff like that. But getting to learn how to be a carpenter. So the song's called "The Carpenter's Song." And thank you everybody for coming out. My name's Sky. I was also playing in a band at the time. I wanted to be a rock star at the same time. I'm still a carpenter.
I'm a man with a future that's somehow undecided, but I live in a working world and rules I must abide. There's a dream that runs beside me and I like to crawl inside it, but I have an obligation from which I cannot hide. I am a carpenter. In one hand I have my guitar and the other I have a hammer. Got one foot in the spotlight and the other on a ladder. That's my occupation, I'll say it doesn't matter. That music running through my head and splinters in my hands. I am a carpenter. Friday night we jam with beat-up amps and old guitars. Saturday we'll play a gig at the rundown biker bar. Sunday there's a backyard jam not too far from here. We won't make any money, but we'll get our fill on beer. Then Monday brings a wake-up call just around 6 a.m. Wipe the weekend from your eyes, the work week starts again. Take one stop along the way, hot coffee for the drive. Tool belts at the ready and some glasses for your eyes. The dull blade on the skill saw makes the plywood scream out loud. You know it may sound funny, but I'm kinda goddamn proud to be a carpenter.
All right, thank you, everybody. My name's Sky. Thanks, everybody, for coming, and thank you, Scott and Martin, for putting this on.